Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really jumping into the deep end, exploring a source that tackles some huge questions.
Yeah, really fundamental stuff. We're looking at ideas about God, reality, space, time, our own existence, really.
Exactly. It challenges how we think about everything. And just so we're clear, when we say space-time, we mean, the world we live in, 3 dimensions, time moving forward.
Right. And our mission today, if you will, is to unpack some of the surprising insights from this particular perspective. We want to guide you through these pretty complex concepts.
Hopefully sparking some of those aha moments along the way.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
Because some of this is, well, it's definitely outside our normal way of thinking.
Okay, let's dive right in with maybe the biggest paradox. The source says God is infinite, fills all of space-time.
Mm-hmm. Everywhere. All the time.
But also, somehow, paradoxically hides within it. Sets things up so creatures, like us, can perceive and worship him. That sounds contradictory.
It does on the surface, yeah. But this is where it gets really interesting. The source talks about a pre-appointed time.
Okay.
What it calls the second God. Think of it as maybe an aspect or emanation of the divine. Actually empties himself. Becomes a creature. Right here, within our space-time.
Whoa, okay. Empties himself. Becomes one of us, basically.
Kind of, yeah. And the truly revolutionary part, the source suggests, isn't just, compassion. It's framed as the only way to prevent sin from arising in creatures.
How does that work?
Well, the idea is if the ultimate infinite God the first interacted directly, his sheer power, his unfiltered presence, it might just, destroy creatures. Or their potential for imperfection, for sin, would instantly become reality.
Right, overwhelmed by the infinite.
Exactly. So this sacrifice, the second God becoming a creature, it's like it inoculates reality. It abolishes sin from space-time itself and makes it possible for creatures to become images of God.
That's a lot to take in. A divine being becoming limited, specifically to prevent sin.
That's a profound concept.
It really is, but it immediately makes me think, okay, if God operates on this completely different level, how limited are we then as creatures within this space-time?
Very limited. The source is quite clear on that. We can only understand what God sort of allows us to know. We can't really grasp infinity.
Or always eternal. Like our idea of eternity is just time going on forever within our reality.
Precisely. An endless extension of the timeline we're already on. We can't step outside of when we were created conceptually.
So this raises a huge question then. How does God see our reality? How is time and space perceived from, outside it?
Yeah, and the source offers a fascinating perspective. It suggests that for God, all moments, past, present, future, they're all just now, simultaneously present.
Like watching a movie that's already finished, you can see the beginning and end all at once.
That's a good analogy the source hints at. The characters inside experience it linearly, moment by moment, but for the viewer outside, it's all there. And it goes further, suggesting space-time itself might be, from God's perspective, like nothing, or maybe even a dream.
Nothing. A dream. Our entire reality.
A fundamentally different kind of existence compared to God's own being. For us, obviously, this reality is everything.
Okay, wow. So if space-time could be seen as nothing, or a dream to God, what does that mean for something like the crucifixion? An event of immense suffering within our reality.
Right. Is that pain also nothing from the divine perspective?
Yeah.
Or a dream? Or is it something else?
Something we just can't comprehend.
Exactly. The source talks about the agony involved, but frames it in almost unimaginable terms. It describes the second God being cut off from the first.
Separation from the ultimate source.
Yes, not just physical pain, but a kind of infinite spiritual agony, breaking that infinite bond. And crucially, the source suggests this agony, this separation, is revealed to us, to creatures.
Why?
To show the depth of God's love. An unfathomable love demonstrated through an act of suffering that, from our limited view, we can barely begin to understand.
It's revealed for us to understand the love behind it.
That seems to be the core idea presented here.
Okay, circling back to this idea of space-time as God's dream, or maybe that movie, what does that imply about how we should see our own lives, our reality?
Well, the source speculates, quite poetically actually, that space-time might be like this movie playing out right on the edge, the boundary between existence and non-existence.
On the edge.
For God, the movie's done, complete, all moments present. But for us, the creatures in the movie, we're always experiencing the narrative as it unfolds, linearly, step by step.
We're living inside the story while it's still playing out for us.
Exactly. We don't see the whole script at once.
So that leaves us with a pretty big thought to chew on, doesn't it? If our reality, this experience of space and time we live in, could be God's completed movie or even a kind of divine dream, what does that really imply about things like our choices, our free will? Does it change how we think about the very nature of existence itself? Something profound, almost unimaginable to ponder.